Over the last couple weeks, we've been fortunate enough to be able to test two iPhones, the iPhone 13 mini and the iPhone 13 Pro. So let's go over some of the perks from both of them from a camera person's perspective. So I already know that the iPhone is going to work great across all models. They've all been beefed up with the A15 processing chip, which is making them blazing fast. I've been trying them out with a bunch of different apps, and it is just incredible the speed of this phone now. So I'm mainly going to be focusing on the size options and the cameras. And I'm also going to go over kind of the user experience for carrying these around, showing you images and clips shot on the phones, and hopefully that will help you make your own decision. Now, originally, this was the model that I thought I was gonna love. I was like so into the small form factor. I thought the cameras were gonna be great. I hadn't had time to really dive into all the differences of the two models, but just the size factor alone is what I was really interested in. When I finally got the phone into my hand, unfortunately everything changed because it was actually too small. So I'm coming from an iPhone 7, and this new mini is actually smaller than that. Albeit the mini is about 10 times faster and the camera system is light years improved, but something just didn't sit quite right with it in my hand. So in walks the iPhone 13 Pro. Now this phone is larger than both the mini and my old 7, also heavier, having a whopping 1 terabyte of storage, which is amazing. And that 1 terabyte storage option is only available in the Pro models. So right off the bat, I liked having the iPhone 13 Pro in my hand. Having a little bit of weight helped me take photos, helped steady my hand out a little bit. Now, depending on your own personal preference, a heavier phone could be an unwelcome thing. So the winner of how both those phones felt in my hand went to the Pro. And that was just the first of many surprises. Now don't get me wrong, both of these cameras take amazing photos, and the fact that it's coming from a cell phone is completely mind-blowing. All of the 13 models in my mind would be a welcome piece of gear in anyone's pocket. It's got so many fun little gimmicky, but also some serious features. You can get some amazing images right off the bat. When we deep dive a little more into the camera systems, there are a few more bells and whistles in the Pro models. Let's go over a couple of them that I really like. There's a larger main camera sensor that gets you an f1.5, which is going to be great in nighttime shooting. The fact that it can go down to a 1.5 is pretty amazing. There's also a telephoto lens upgrade with the Pro model that gets you a 77mm equivalent. Works good in a pinch. It's not the best, but when your subject's about 10 feet away, you hit that 77mm 3 times zoom and you're right up in there. It's great. It's got an upgraded ultra wide with a wider f.18 lens for better low light performance and AF macro photography. Now this is kind of where I've been hanging out most of the time. This wide angle is great when you need it. I love the image. I love that it's just kind of this warped, you're so wide, it's that warped look. It's great for doing some mind-bending type of images. Another thing that the Pro models have is raw photo mode. I was kind of bummed out that the iPhone mini did not have this, and it's probably because of its smaller storage options. Shooting in raw mode definitely takes up a lot more memory, but if you're really into going back into your photos, color adjusting, messing with the highlights, bringing the exposure up, you want to be shooting in raw mode. That just gives you a little buffer, a little helpful safety net when you need to adjust and fix your pictures. So this is awesome that the Pro models shoot in this mode. I actually am loving this mode so much and truly missed it on the iPhone mini. It's super fun and it's just a nice little dream come true again. Food photos, abstract photos, tons of things you can play with in macro mode. So cinematic mode for video. This is something that is across all the iPhones, but I actually wasn't too impressed with this feature. I've never really liked that fake blur that portrait mode adds into its photos, and so when they were saying it's portrait mode for video, I was like, I don't know about that. One pro tip I do have for you guys is if you want to bring down that blur effect, you boost your f-stop. There's a f-stop feature there that you can get into. Brings down that fake blur, helps your edges out, and it looks a lot cleaner. Again, I think this is another step in the right direction that Apple's going. I'm looking forward to what's in store, but for now, I don't think I'm going to be using cinematic mode too much. Lidar is another feature only offered in the Pro models. Now, Apple reports that this helps in low light photography, and yes, I can definitely see a slight bump up in nighttime and low light photos. There's much less hunting, but overall the night mode on all of these cameras is super impressive. So the ProRes video codec is coming eventually, and I'm kind of holding on to this dream that maybe the iPhone Pro will be able to be even more usable in a pinch with this. The ProRes codec is going to give you more details, and overall it's just an easier editing experience. What I've been seeing though on the net is that these files are massive. This is not going to help your video creating workflow if this is what you're going for with this camera. It sounds like it's super slow to transfer files over. I also know that ProRes is going to eat through my memory, so I'm definitely going to keep this 1 terabyte storage option. It's going to be a hungry little camera. But a bump up in detail is definitely intriguing and definitely welcome. You look at this footage from the iPhones and you can see that yes, it's still cell phone footage. It still has artifacts in the sky. There's still some weird things going on with highlights. Can't adjust right. I mean, it's pretty amazing though that you can get these type of images out of your cell phone now. I remember when we were making fun of people on cell phones, that cell phones seemed completely ridiculous to the normal person. And now it didn't take long for us all to have one, and we're all wanting it to be the best thing ever. Will I be possibly using the iPhone 13 Pro for B-roll footage or supporting footage? Yeah, definitely. I shot that homage to Seinfeld at the beach with the iPhone 13 Pro on a tripod. So knowing that you have something like this in your pocket and you don't have to lug around that camera bag full of everything, it's the first time in my life that I just don't have to worry about that. So again, both phones have amazing camera systems, and I plan on keeping this thing for the next 5 years, so I should just get the best, right? These devices are kind of like a TV in a bed. You're going to be using them a lot during its lifetime. So splurging a little, getting the best is always worth it in the long run. So for me, the 13 Pro takes the cake, and that's the one that's going to take up the limited real estate in my pocket. But for you all out there, this is completely subjective. It's just like the clothes we wear, the food we eat, everyone has different tastes. So I advise you to go down to the Apple Store, get both models in your hand, try them out. You know that the phone is going to be solid. Just know that. The phone is going to be great. What you gotta worry about is the camera. What are these features? Do you even want these features? Are you into macro photography? You're gonna know in the first 2 seconds, so just listen to that gut feeling that you have. So if you made it this far, thank you everyone. Please hit that like and subscribe button down below. We're trying to get these numbers up. We're trying to get you guys the best videos possible. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.